Call this meeting of the Conroe Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum of members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, and the time is 6 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. Our first item is item 1A, our invocation, which will be led by Mr. Ray Sanders, and then followed by our pledge by Mr. Dale Inman.
If you would like to join me in a word of prayer. God of us all, hear our prayers. We pray for your divine intervention into the lives of all the families affected in Uvalde, Texas, at Robb Elementary. We pray for all victims of violence, wherever they might be in this world. Turn our hearts and our minds to those who are suffering. Give us your power to love rather than to hate. Most gracious and loving God, maker of heaven and earth, bless this meeting tonight and all who have come to participate. Let your truth be known to us so that we may make wise decisions that honor you. May all present be blessed by your goodness, your mercy, and your presence. Strengthen our confidence and forgive us of our pridefulness. Thank you, Lord, for the work in our lives. Thank you that because of you, we have hope, even through the toughest of times. Renew our spirits and fill us with joy and peace, for it is in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. We are truly blessed tonight. Joining us is to present the colors for the pledges is the Woodlands College Park High School Marine Corps JROTC Color Guard, instructed by Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Mowry and Sergeant Major Christopher Combs. Join me in saying the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag over my left shoulder. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
You may be seated. Thank you, Mr. Sanders and Mr. Inman, and to our JROTC, thank you very much. That was very beautiful. I'd like to move on to item 2A through D. We've got some fun recognitions to make, so we'll turn the first one over is our special board recognition of our 2022 Master Level Armed Overall National High School Drill Team champions from the College Park School.
All right, so here to make that introduction of a group that we already had a chance to see is our principal from College Park High School, Dr. Mark Merle.
Good evening. President Hubert, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Knoll, thank you for inviting College Park High School this evening and recognizing our national champion, JROTC. Our JROTC program began about 8 years ago and has received recognition around the country, including 2 national championships. Sergeant Major Combs started the program and was a key in the design of excellence. Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Mowry joined 2 years ago, and her competitive drive has helped us grow to a higher level. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our JROTC leader, Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Mowry, for a little bit of information about our program. Thank you.
done this, so I don't know if I should stand this way or stand
You're
that
good.
way.
You're fine.
You're good.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Mari. This is going to be my third year at College Park, and I'm very honored to be here tonight. Thank you so much for asking our color guard to come up and present the colors for you. It's the first time since I've been here that we've done that, and we were just very pleased to have that honor tonight, so thank you. I'm only going to talk for a few minutes, and then I want to get the kids to come in and introduce them as well. As Dr. Merle said, this is our second national championship. This one is a little bit different than the one that they did in 2017. So this year, we decided, we being Sergeant Major and I, that we wanted to try something different with the cadets, and we challenged them to believe in our plan and our focus. And they did it. They stepped up. The All-Service Nationals in Daytona, Florida is a very different type of competition than anything any of our cadets have ever seen before. I had never seen one. Sergeant Major had never participated in one. So we were going in a little blind as instructors, but we had a lot of help from coaches and other people that are very familiar with Daytona. And at that level, this is where all the high school military academies compete. This is where the individual winners from the 4 different service competitions come up to compete. And so we decided to enter our first time 50% freshman team in the highest level as master's division and just go for it. And we just said, we're gonna go bigger, we're gonna go home, and we're not going home without a trophy. And that's what we told the kids to do. In addition, we did not let them participate in any other events throughout the school year because we didn't want to show any of the other schools what we were working on because it was such a unique, different type of program where we combined the armed and the unarmed for our exhibition routine, and we wanted to keep that very close hold. So these kids, our cadets, this team that we put together, went the entire year without competing. Like I said, more than half of our team was freshmen, had never been in front of a group in a competition scenario, and they went out there. We took first place in armed regulation, second place in color guard, 5th place in inspection, and 6th place in exhibition, which we all believe we did better, but the judges didn't know what to do with our routine because they had never seen anything like it before. And then, of course, we came home with the overall. And I really have to give credit to the kids who just believed in their coaches, believed in the sergeant major, believed in the process, and just came out hour after hour, day after day, 5 days a week, sometimes on the weekends. They gave up so much of their free time, bruises, broken bones, the whole 9 yards, and they brought it home. And it was just a moment I think they'll never forget. I know I will never forget it. And I really just want to thank everybody in the room. There's parents here, I know. Dr. Merle for believing in our team and letting us go on a path that was not really well received from some people, but it worked out in the end. And now we have national champions. And I am very fortunate tonight that we only have a couple of cadets here because summer, but I have 3 of my 4 commanders from our different events here. So I have our cadet commander for next year, Cadet Captain Jacqueline Miller. She was our inspection commander. I'm sorry, I called you a captain. You're a major. That's my bad. Cadet major, right? No, you're a captain. Never mind. We have First Lieutenant Mallier. Come on out. He was our color guard commander. Our color guard, they missed first place by 2 points out of, I think, 1,600 total points. They missed it by 2.
Wow.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Dejeuner was our exhibition commander. And unfortunately, Cadet Sergeant Martinez is not here tonight because she's in Massachusetts, so we'll let her have a bye on this. And then I have Cadet Watson and Cadet Ricard were on the color guard at Nationals. Well, actually, they were on all 4 events. No, you weren't because you didn't do it. No, you did do inspection. They were on all 4 events, these 2, as well as Cadet Mallier. And then Cadet Best and Cadet Muccio. Cadet Muccio stepped in last minute to fill in one of our inspection spots and just did an outstanding job. And Cadet Best was in regulation exhibition and inspection. So these kids, they were pulling all kinds of multiple duties, and they really did a magnificent job, and we're really proud of them. So thank you so much for giving us this moment tonight and a public place where we can talk about how wonderful they are, and we hope to go back next year and fight for it again.
All right.
I'd just like to say a few words on behalf of the board. First of all, wow, congratulations. Boy, this is serious business here. You guys are extremely impressive. I can only imagine the amount of, he's got a smile on his face. I can only imagine how much rigor it took for you guys to achieve this national level award, how many hours you guys put in, and I could see the extreme discipline on your faces. And you guys represent this district in just a phenomenal way. You're some of the best of CISD, and we just thank you, Dr. Murrow. Thank you, the instructors, everyone that poured into you guys to produce such phenomenal, fine student athletes. Congratulations, guys. Well done. Well represented, CISD. I want to say thank you.
She doesn't want to be in the picture.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job. Congratulations. Great job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great job.
Congratulations.
Awesome job.
Good job, man. I got a smile on
Way to go. Great job. Congratulations.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Yes.
Nice to lead in charge. Outstanding. Good job.
Congratulations. Yes, I got to watch all of them. They were fabulous. Congratulations.
So if you're interested in watching their routines, they're all on YouTube. So if you just go to YouTube and you type in College Park Daytona, she said all 4 of their routines will pop up right away. So you can watch those kids in action if you'd like to go and see them on YouTube. So
Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Fantastic.
Awesome. Good job. Great job. And thanks to all those parents, too, who are out there working and making sure those things are happening for these kids and giving them an opportunity to show their skills. That's really neat. Congratulations. Moving on to item 2B is our special board recognition, some ambassador awards for child nutrition department for some
yes, sir.
wonderful
So
employees.
we are. It takes a big team to have a successful school year, right? And all departments, and we have the opportunity to celebrate our employees that work on campuses throughout the school years. We go out and present them with ambassador awards and recognize them. But for our staff members that don't work directly on a home campus, we take opportunity during the summer to recognize them. And so tonight, we're going to recognize our child nutrition and our custodial and maintenance employees for their ambassador awards. And here to start those introductions is Mr. Chris McCord, our Assistant Superintendent for Operations.
President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll, it's an honor to appear before you this evening representing operations. We work hard every day to make you proud. We've got a great team of people who care and do all we can to help our students, staff, community, and clientele be their very best. We're particularly proud of our custodial and maintenance department, which we will recognize in a few minutes, but we're going to start with our child nutrition department. And to get us going, we're going to have first up Mrs. Robin Hughes, who is our Director of Child Nutrition. Rob.
Good evening, President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll. Thank you for recognizing our ambassadors this evening. Our first ambassador is Ms. Ray Hartman. Ray is the manager at Sam Houston Elementary and has been with the district 24 years.
All right.
Ray knows how to bring out the best in her employees and does a great job training. She makes sure her employees know how important they are in providing quality meals to the students, and she lets them know they're appreciated. She goes above and beyond her regular job duties, and we can always count on her to do what's best for the district. She never complains, and she's always willing to do anything we ask her to do. She's a pleasure to have on our team. Next is Miss Aline Davis. Aline is the manager at Hauser Elementary and has been with the district for 9 years. She has a passion for excellence and takes great pride in ensuring students and staff receive high-quality meals. She works right alongside her staff and has a positive can-do attitude. Aline encourages her team to give their best every day. And Aline is famous at Hauser for singing happy birthday to the students and staff during lunch. They light up when she begins to sing. And she has a genuine care for her students and staff, and it's very inspiring. Next, we have Shayna Trevino. Shayna is the manager at Grand Oaks High School and has been with the district for 8 years. Shayna began her year at Clark Intermediate and operated the kitchen smoothly and efficiently. She's always willing to assist other kitchens when needed, and she was promoted to Grand Oaks High School this year and has done a great job with the staff. She trains very well and has high expectations. She cares about food quality and only wants what's best for the students. We're very fortunate to have her in our department. Deborah Fisher is unable to be here this evening, but she is an associate at David Elementary, and she's been with the district for 2 years. She's dedicated and hardworking and brings many assets to the department. She's organized and loves to learn. She's willing to work in any campus, and she takes initiative to figure out what each kitchen needs, and she makes it look effortless. She's positive and she's invaluable. We're glad she's with us. Thank you.
Say a few words on behalf of the board. Hi, ladies. So I don't think anyone's ever said that a job in child nutrition is easy, at least if they're sane. But to do that job in this district, the size and scale and scope of Conroe ISD takes challenging to a whole nother level. I don't know how you do it and do it so well, but I do know that I'm thankful for your hard work, your dedication, and your wonderful spirits. Congratulations and thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, right? Congratulations.
Appreciate you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Wonderful job.
Thank you.
Great job, fantastic, outstanding.
Awesome. Thank you.
Outstanding, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr. Knoll, I'm going to go to Hauser Elementary for my birthday.
I told her I wish it was somebody's birthday. Surely somebody in here has a birthday. I was
We have a birthday?
We do, Dr. Taylor?
Dr. Medford?
Dr. Medford.
Where are we?
Man. All right.
Well,
Okay. Mr. McCord.
Next up, we'll be recognizing ambassadors from custodial and maintenance. When we wake up every morning, and in custodial and maintenance, we wake up awfully early. You never know what challenge is going to be before you before the day starts. And they meet each challenge with eagerness and accomplishment, and I appreciate the jobs they do. And we're going to start off for introductions tonight will be Marshall Schrader, our Director of Custodial and Maintenance.
Good afternoon, President Hubert, Dr. Knoll, members of the board. It is my honor to be back recognizing our employees. First up is from our IPM safety. Life safety team is Justin McDonald. Justin is our lead life safety technician. He is a success of our on-board training. He came up through the system, started at a low-level position and worked his way through, got training, and he is absolutely one of our best team members. Justin's role supports the district's fire alarms, fire sprinklers, fire extinguishers, backflow devices, athletic scoreboards, PA systems, intercom systems, elevators, and our BDA system. Justin always goes above and beyond and provides excellent customer service. From our MEP group, Jack Crooms. I think he might have left.
Is that working?
He left us in more than one way. Jack Crooms is actually taking a position in Klein ISD and will be leaving us after July the 1st, so he'll definitely be missed. From our general maintenance group, Sergio Don Juan. Sergio is one of our painters in the group, and he has a very high level of quality and craftsmanship every time he goes on the job. We're happy to have Sergio in our team. From our South Custodial group, Marina Castro. Marina's been with the district for 12 years. She works at Oak Ridge Elementary as the opener, and she does an outstanding job for the custodial department. She's a hard worker, has such a great attitude, and we are blessed to have her as part of our department. From North Custodial, Maribel Hernandez. Maribel has been with the district for 12 years. She started as a night custodian, worked her way through as a swing, and she currently works as the opener at Crier Intermediate. She always takes the initiative to take care of the Crier staff. She's a great team member. She's always willing to stay late, clean extra duties, and she's always even willing to go to other campuses after she gets off when we're shorthanded. She is a hardworking, excellent member of our staff. From our selection from our Assistant Director, Brian Broussard, Roy Gill. Roy is another one of our success stories that came in and he took care of our roofs for a long period of time, worked his way up, became a lead, and now he's a supervisor over general crafts. Over and above his normal duties, he also leads our team to move portables through the summer. So he's our lead guy for portables. He efforts to be as efficient as possible. We're very lucky to have Roy as our team member. Last but not least, and she's not able to be with us, is Lucia Chavaria, South Custodial. She's been with the district for 7 years. She works hard as a shift custodian at the Woodlands High School. She's a hard worker, has a great relationship with the Woodlands High School staff and teachers, and we're happy to have her as a part of our team.
Perfect. Thank you so much. If I could just take a moment, I want to tell you as a volunteer, the first thing you do when you go to a school is you meet the principal and you meet the principal's assistant, and then you meet the custodial team, because they know every nook and cranny in that school. They know how it works. They know where everything is hidden. They have all the keys. They know how to set it up. They know how to tear it down. They know how to prepare it. They know how to get it from one side of the school to the other. And they do it in no time at all. They do it with no complaints. And even though it's probably not the most glamorous job, it's definitely a job that we couldn't do without. And so, on behalf of the board, we thank you for your tireless service day in and day out, from sun up to sundown, from open to close. Thank you.
There's a tiny little lady.
Like, hey, all of y'all come through for the hand.
All y'all.
All of y'all.
All y'all. All y'all.
That's right. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything. We appreciate
Thank you again.
Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You know I appreciate you.
You know we love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Thank you
Thank you very much for
so much.
Thank you.
Phenomenal job. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's hot out there? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Awesome job.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice words.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Make him do some work for them.
And there's the, yeah.
Tell him that. We are. It's awesome. All right, thank you for that. Ms. Wagman, great words. Thank you so much for what you said. Moving on to item D, special board recognition for our Lifesaving Award. Dr. Knoll.
All right, thank you once again, and certainly as Mr. Sanders shared early in the meeting, you know, our hearts go out to the folks in Uvalde for the tragedy that they've all experienced. Part of what we understand in the school business is that safety at schools is far-reaching. You know, that's certainly the worst-case scenario, but our employees, students are faced with situations and decisions on a daily basis that have to do with safety. It might be from a bee or a wasp on the playground, to other critters, to weather situations, to just environmental situations, heat. You know, there's a variety of things that we all have to be aware of. And one of the things that we know is that the only way to be successful in creating a safe environment for our students is when everyone is involved in creating that safe environment. It's not the responsibility of CISD police. It's not the responsibility of the administrators. It's not the responsibility of the teachers, the parents, the kids. It's the responsibility of all of us in the community to make sure that we have safe children every day, and that every child that goes to school comes home the same way that they left each day. And so we've had an opportunity, and I say child, but also staff member, and we've had an opportunity over the last few months to recognize some folks that have been put into positions to make a difference truly in the life of someone. And we have that opportunity here again tonight to recognize some folks that when faced with the situation, stood up and made a difference in the life of someone else. And so here tonight to recognize our lifesavers is our principal from Kaufman Elementary, Mr. Clinton Dulworth.
She was excited a minute ago. President Hubert, members of the board, Dr. Knoll, I'm excited to share a life-saving story with you today. This is Avery McMahon. She was actually the one that was saved in this moment. And so I asked her earlier, I go, hey, would you like to talk in front of everyone? She's like, no. So I got to share a story. So to keep it really simple, Avery was going to one of her lessons with one of her teachers in their small group area. A fellow student, bring up here, who's back here. Well, I bring her up in a second. Noticed that she was choking and her face was turning red. She immediately started yelling for the teacher at that moment. Our teacher, Miss Adams, immediately got up, came over there, performed the Heimlich maneuver, and saved our little Avery here. And so we're amazed at both the heroism of both Brianna and Miss Adams. And so we wanted them to be recognized because it was really a heroic act by both.
Yeah.
So Brianna here is our life-saving student. And Miss Amanda Adams is our life-saving teacher.
It's an amazing story. Unfortunately, in the district our size, things do happen. And there are many choices you guys could have made. One of them is just to be nervous and not say anything at all. And the other one is to actually do something about it and let a parent know. And so that should be recognized. So I know you're a little nervous up there, but this is a big deal because your leadership saved lives, saved a little girl's life. And we appreciate that because every life is important to us. And so we would like to, Brianna, we'd like to recognize you with a certificate that says the Board of Trustees recognizes Brianna for your actions in saving the life of a Conroe ISD student. We appreciate you so much. And Miss Amanda Adams, thank you so much for just what you do on a daily. This is probably not part of the description, I'm assuming, that was that you were provided, but just loving students and then just jumping into action like that. We really appreciate it. Appreciate your leadership. Appreciate you being there and just taking care of them. So more than being a teacher, but being an influencer. Thank you so much for what you do. And we want to recognize you as well. Same.
Scariest part of all.
Here we go.
Thank you. Outstanding job. How are you? So good to see you tonight. Wow, really impressive. Thank you.
That's great. Great.
If you want to give people an opportunity to leave if they would like.
Yeah, if we, the next agenda item is his in participation. Of course, everybody can stay, but we also know that some of the kids may need a break to exit, and this would certainly be that opportunity to do so if that is your choice.
Is that us too?
Nice try.
All right. Moving on to item 3, which is our citizen participation. Ms. Godfrey, do we have some people signed up tonight?
Yes, we have 10 people signed up.
Perfect. All right. Please keep in mind that while this meeting is held in public forum, the purpose of this meeting is for the Board of Trustees to conduct the business of the district in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, and Board Policy BED. If a patron during public comment addresses an issue that is on tonight's posted agenda, the board will defer its discussion of the issue until the item is reached on the agenda. For any issue that is not on the board's posted agenda, the board cannot and will not deliberate or make a decision related to that issue. Speakers who have signed up to address the board during public comment must make all comments to the Board of Trustees and not the audience. The board has specific policies under which the board considers complaints. If your purpose is to seek some type of remedy, the board cannot discuss or respond to your concern until you have met the requirements of the appropriate district policy. Accordingly, the board will not hear complaints or derogatory comments about individual students or staff during public comment. Information about how to file a complaint is located on the district's website. The board expects that everyone in attendance will conduct themselves respectfully, regardless of whether they agree or disagree with the speaker's message. Interrupting speakers or this meeting will not be tolerated. To ensure that the board can efficiently conduct the district's business, each of the speakers who have registered to address the board will be given 3 minutes to present their comments. Each speaker's time will be displayed on the screens around the room. We have them up? Okay. When the countdown timer reaches 0, the next speaker will be called. Ms. Godfrey, will you please call our first person?
Douglas Burrell. Okay. Linda Evans.
No? Okay.
Erica Lawrence.
She's, yep,
You can just make your way to the podium.
welcome.
Hello, Conroe Independent School District Board. My name is Erica Lawrence, and I live in the Grand Oaks feeder area. I have 4 children in our schools, ranging from 1st grade to 10th grade, and I have been very active in those schools. I would like to thank you for your time and the effort that you put into your jobs as trustees. I'm sure as board members, you all are very concerned about what happened in Uvalde, and I've heard you mentioned it already tonight. And as a parent, I'm terrified. What can we do to reduce the risk of school shootings? There is no easy or perfect answer, but this has been going on too long, and it's time to get serious about solving this horrific problem. As citizens, we all have the right and the duty to raise our voices to our elected officials to make changes that can reduce the number of school shootings. And as board members for one of the larger school districts in Texas, all of you have a platform for speaking up to lawmakers about needed changes. You have bigger voices than the ordinary citizen. Your voices carry weight. Use your voices collectively to make a real difference. After today's Senate Special Committee hearing meetings, it is important to please tell lawmakers you support policies like red flag laws, universal background checks, and policies that would raise the minimum age to purchase assault weapons in Texas from 18 to 21. Please make sure our district has a well-funded and well-run program for identifying and helping students who are exhibiting mental health problems. We want to continue to have the good security that our school police officers offer at our schools, properly working doors, and restrictions on entering the buildings. But the sad fact is if a shooter makes it to the school, we have failed. That's where the policies I have mentioned come in. All of us must do everything in our power to prevent another Uvalde, Parkland, Sandy Hook, and the list goes on and on. We never want CISD on that tragic, heartbreaking list. Thank you again for your work for CISD. Adults have to make hard choices, but that's what responsible adults do. Now is the time to make those hard but life-saving choices. My 4 children deserve it, and so do the other 66,000 other students in Conroe Independent School District. Thank you.
Thank you. Diane Daniels.
Good evening.
Hello.
Just to reflect on board members, November 2022, Mr. Inman, Mr. Sanders, and Mr. Hubert, terms are up, and their elections will be in November of 2022. I'd like to reflect a little bit on the performance of recent months. In April of 2021, pushing experimental COVID-19 jabs and wearing masks, all of you were given the facts about the dangers of these experimental jabs from the concerned parents, grandparents, and citizens of this community. Many facts came from Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Stella Emanuel, Simone Gold. Governor Abbott's Executive Order 38 regarding the masks was ignored, and you kept our children's masks on until the end of the year. Again, Many facts were brought to your attention on how this will raise health issues against our students. Your decisions hurt the children and their basic human rights, which violates the Nuremberg Code of 1947, which you were all informed of in April of 2021. Next, there is the CRT and SEL. You say CRT was not in our schools, but you had actual students present examples of the opposite. Again, you ignored the public's outrage. Conroe ISD received $64 million in the ESSER fund. This money was not designated to improve reading, writing, and arithmetic. I suggest the money should have been given back. Library books with pornographic matter have been approved and put in Conroe ISD libraries. These books are disgusting and have no place in our schools. The schools are too big and have no way of controlling certain elements. There are some good accomplishments. I don't want to just say, you guys have done some good things. Month after month when I've come to these board meetings, your acknowledgement of your teachers, your outstanding students, that comes from direction from you guys. It comes from the top. So you've done excellent things. Your programs for dyslexia that you've started. So you do hear outcries from the community. I'm just pointing out the ones that I have brought to your attention that I felt were poor decisions. Because with elections coming up, I do believe the public needs to be reinforced about these decisions. You also partnered with the 917 Society to give pocket constitutions to every 8th grader in the community, in the district, and you're doing that again in the upcoming year, which I appreciate. Thank you. All I do is ask that you do the right thing for the children and listen to both sides, the community that is speaking in front of you, as well as whoever is counseling you in the direction. Thank you.
Garrett Costello.
Hello again.
Yep.
It's been a while. I prepared for 2 minutes. I got 3, so we'll see how this goes. So my kids are my number one asset, and everyone in this room should agree with me. So what I'm about to say shouldn't upset the apple cart. I asked to be on the SHAC committee, but was told no, it's not likely to happen. So when a parent like me wants to be involved in a school where state law requires a SHAC committee, and someone at the school district is telling me no, questions arise. I'm here today to discuss my experience with wanting to be on a SHAC committee and provided feedback to the board. So I'm a parent of 3 CISD students. I was told the SHAC feeder district representing my kids was full for this upcoming year, and it's not likely I can be on the SHAC committee. Immediately, my BS meter goes up because there is no such bylaw limiting the maximum number or people in the SHAC or any bylaws indicating only so many parents per feeder district can participate. So I inquired with this individual more, and here's what I learned. There is a SHAC subcommittee which decides on what people to put in front of a board for a vote. That's my understanding. But who makes up the subcommittee? Is it a majority of CISD staff? If so, essentially CISD is handpicking the SHAC members for you to vote on? I don't know. I'm just asking you to ask this when it comes time for a vote. The observation I noted is that this past year there were 28 CISD staff on the SHAC committee and only 18 parents and community members. The ratio for last year was parents and community members represented 39% of the committee, not 60% like the state's intention. My request to you is to allow parents to be on the SHAC committee and balance this out. When a school tells me I can't be involved, it's a concern. To reach a quorum on SHAC, only 51% is needed. And if more parents want to be involved, I recommend let them. I heard the typical SHAC committee consists of between 5 to 21 people. However, this is a bigger district, and last year alone there were 46 people on this committee. So please allow parents to participate if they choose. When the list for next year is presented to you, I encourage you to ask how many parents and community members have applied and how many have been turned down. I ask you to allow parents who have filled out the application form into the SHAC committee to allow them into the committee. I heard the bylaws were amended in June regarding the application process. And I'm just going on record to ask the board to accept my application And I request an explanation if it's denied. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Morrison? No. Kristen Johnson?
Good evening, board members. Tonight, we've heard several folks paint a less than desirable, less than flattering picture of CISD and the professionals in it. Some of those same folks want to censor our libraries because the materials inside do not align with their personal theological beliefs. Rather than split hairs about those materials, I would like to take tonight to highlight and honor the professionals in this district and point out what is going right in CISD. Most impressive to me is the astonishingly high graduation rate of our CISD high schools, a whopping 97.3%, which is 7 points higher than the state average. And that is the folks that are enrolled in CISD high schools that are graduating on time. The dropout rate in CISD is an astoundingly low 0.3% district-wide, which everyone on this board should be commended for because that's an incredible feat. This is because CISD teachers on average each have over a decade of experience. CISD is also consistently ranked in the top 5% of the school districts in this state, all while maintaining and caring for over 6,400 students district-wide. 6,400 students that I might add have a plethora of different faiths and cultures. CISD also consistently is honored with state and national awards, including the one that we saw tonight for our JROTC, and the awards that were given to our music programs last month. These award-winning programs contribute to the exemplary education and opportunities that are available to our students. So I would like to offer my congratulations and kudos to you, CISD teachers and board members, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Cody Bartlett?
Good evening, President Hubert, members of the board, Dr. Knoll. Tonight I'm here with my sisters, Heather McWilliams and Elizabeth Kiner, all products of the Conroe feeder and proud graduates of Conroe High. And we're here to excitedly put forward our mother, Janet K. Bartlett, as a suggestion for the namesake of the new elementary school scheduled to serve the Conroe and Caney Creek feeders. We first embarked on this journey in the fall of 2013 during the naming of Flex 14 and 16. And over the past 9 years, a great deal of support has been shared with the board and our family during those nomination windows. This has been such a blessing to us to be able to read the stories of the impact our mother has had on others and also reinforce the idea of what we're doing is merited. And giving us the energy to continue to pursue this. So tonight, rather than us tell you how great she is, we wanted to share just a snippet of what others, past students, parents, and faculty, think about her. Obviously, this is not an all-encompassing list, but we hope this gives you a little insight into the person, the heart, the soul, the character behind the name Janet K. Bartlett. And I'll start with one of my favorites. Someone said, I can't think of anyone better to name a new school after than Janet Bartlett, other than Bonnie Wilkinson. And that's already been done. Janet is one of the most caring, smart, funny, and compassionate friends I've known. Hard to disagree with that one. I will never forget her compassion and ability to understand each student and how to engage them all so that they were successful. Another one writes, she was an inspiration to me, and I was often dazzled by the creative activities she employed to teach her students. It was always evident that Janet's teaching skills kept her students engaged and active in learning. Janet's upbeat, positive personality was an asset to our instructional team. Another one says, I will always attribute my becoming a teacher to Janet. She is a wonderful, caring, and supportive person who served Conroe ISD for over 30 years, and I hope to one day drive by a school named for Janet and tell my grandchildren, she is the lady who inspired me to become a teacher. Another one, Janet is the most loving and selfless, giving person I've ever met. Not only has she always been a great teacher, but she is truly one of the most influential teachers in my life. Her passion for her craft is contagious, and when she and children are in a room together, magic happens. And lastly, I still remember Miss Bartlett to this day for the love that she had for me, not only as her student, but as a person. She always had a laugh that was contagious and a smile that would go on forever. Mrs. Bartlett is one of the reasons why I became a teacher for Conroe ISD. Sometimes being a teacher isn't about just teaching academics, it's about teaching how to treat others and how to be a responsible adult. I'd be so proud to drive by a school with Miss Bartlett's name on it. I could only imagine how special that school would be to those kiddos, even if it had only half of the love that Miss Bartlett exhibited for her students. And again, this is only a small sampling of the letters we received over the years, and we treasure each one of them. And in closing, we once again respectfully make the ask. We ask for you to select for the namesake of Flex 23, a product of the Conroe Feeder, a graduate of Conroe High School, someone who spent their entire career in an elementary classroom in CISD, someone who was once recognized as Teacher of the Year for the entire district, a much beloved teacher, our mother, Janet Bartlett.
Linda Long.
Hello, my name is Linda Long. With that name, it's hard to be short, so I'll try my best. I have two grandchildren in the Conroe district. They're not my children, they're my grandchildren, obviously, so that's self-evident, I know that. I have seen the documentary Mind Polluters 2 times, and the only thing I could say was, it was a documentary, so in other words, these are facts, and so I have to say it was shocking, and the other word I would say was it was repulsive to me. When I was in college, there was one of my teachers, professors, made a statement which stuck with me. That was a lot of years ago, obviously. He said this one day, he said, "You're not what you think you are, but what you think you are." I took that to heart. My first song I ever wrote was called, that was part of the title of the first song I ever wrote. It stuck with me because you know what? I've said this often, this is like our computer. So whatever you put in our ears or our eyes, our life will produce such. That's exactly what our life will produce. So this is what was tough for me to see that's going on in our schools. I didn't know what the school board, I don't know what your responsibilities are, so I just did a little research on it. And I took 3 things out of there. There's several. One of them was setting goals, establishing policy for the district, and to approve recommended curriculum and textbooks. I just hate to see children who are cheated out of being able to be a child until such a time as necessary. So for our young children, it would make me think of, so you have your kids are sitting, they're having a good meal at a nice banquet, and then they'll go live this nice fancy place where they could live at a castle, and they go from that, after they see this, to eating out of the garbage can and living in a garbage dump. That's what it makes me feel like in my own mind. Every Sunday, and I'm from South Dakota, and when I was a kid, every Sunday in church, this pastor would preach, but he'd say this every week, and I didn't know till later it was a scripture. And so I found the scripture, and I thought, I love this scripture, because it says, it's in John 17:17. It says, I'll find it right here. It's right. Sanctify us in thy truth. Thy word is truth. The first part is a prayer. Sanctify me. Sanctify me in your truth. And then it makes a statement of fact. Your word is truth. And that's powerful for me to read that. So what I did, I gave this to all my kids. I have 3 sons and grandsons, and I have 11 grandchildren and 3 sons and their wives. I'm very happy. I gave this to them on a note card. And I said, if you guys would do this, I'd appreciate that. And if you don't mind, I would like to give one to you. So if you guys would, I can't tell you have to do it, but I'd appreciate if you would just do this maybe often, like very often, if I could give it to you right now. And I think we'd have a change in our life.
Okay. Truly High School. High school. Like, well.
I think so.
Good evening. Thank all of you for your devotion and for your service. I wanted to start with the Brown versus the Board of Education. It was a unanimous landmark decision by the Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the U.S. state law establishing racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. The legal victory in Brown did not transform the country overnight, and much of it remains to be worked on. But by striking down the segregation in the nation's public schools, it provided a major catalyst for civil rights movement, making possible advancing in desegregating housing, so forth and so on. I'm a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother, and this decision was in 1954. I was 4 years old at that time. I grew up under Jim Crow. I understand what it's like to walk away from oppression. And one thing that has broken my heart and the ethnicity that I come from is the welfare system. Education is a key to turning everything around. And the historic definition of education is designed to draw out moral excellence. And moral excellence is defined by principles of first what's right and what's wrong, and what's good and what's evil. And America is an exceptional nation. And I don't want to see anyone ever have to apologize for how God sent you here. We have contributions that we can make to each other. When I was growing up in school, citizenship was part of our grade. And we need to keep, in my opinion, the main thing, and the textbook, the content, the literature that's being exposed to the young children's minds. We need to take a long look at what we are letting them read and digest, because as a child thinks in his heart, so is he. We need to focus, to me, on love, valuing each other, and learning how to understand that there is right and there is wrong, and we can disagree without being disagreeable. So please take to heart your role in leadership, and let's give our children the best of the best. Not just facility, but the opportunity to really learn.
Thank you.
That's it.
Is all of them? Okay, very good. Thank you for your remarks, all of you. Appreciate you coming and speaking to us. Moving on to item 4, which is our consent agenda. I haven't heard from anybody to remove it. Yes, sir?
I just had one question on the on-ramps program.
Sure, we can pull that off.
Would you mind?
Not at all. Let me see, which one is that? D?
D.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion to?
I make a motion to
minus
pull off
D?
on-ramps. Is that the motion you're
No,
looking for?
motion to approve the agenda less.
I make a motion to approve the agenda less the on-ramps discussion.
I'd second that.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to item 4D, consider approval of inaugural agreement between the University of Texas at Austin and Conroe ISD for the 2022-2023 on-ramps program. Dr. Knoll.
Yep. So, Dr. Upshaw, would you want to share a little bit? I don't know if you have any specific questions, or if you'd just like for Dr. Upshaw to share a little bit about it, or?
Well, as I read in the board book, there was 27 students at Caney Creek. I think last time it was 7,000. Is that, and my main question, was that per student total? It's going to 1,800, I think, moving forward. And again, I don't know if that's total for all 27 or per student or.
It's a total for the whole program, sir.
Well, then I would have to say that's phenomenal. Could you give a little, just to be on record about how successful that program is? Because I read it, I thought the 7,000 per student would be very high, but what I saw of, was it 27 students from Caney Creek that already have college credits and moving forward in that? And then what I saw was going 1,800 for the total program. That's probably one of the best things I've seen in my life.
Yeah, maybe you can give us just a brief summary of what that program is, because it is different from our normal dual credit and
It
AP
is.
programs.
And one of the things that it does, it's a partnership with the University of Texas to be able to give students in the Caney Creek feeder an opportunity to get an advanced credit through dual credit that allows them to have that CCMR point that we've talked to you about is one of those things we have accountable for in the high schools. And we did this at this particular campus because this partnership allows us to get that ability of that staff to help our teachers. So in other words, to get dual credit for our teachers, they have to have a certain kind of accreditation, just not their teaching certification, but they have to have the master's. So we can pay a fee to UT to provide that work alongside with our teacher to be able to provide that opportunity at Caney Creek. if we don't have that certified staff. So last year we had 27 students in the Caney Creek system, and 25 of them were successful to receive that credit. So the pilot that we had was $7,000, and now in order to continue it, it's going to be a fee that we pay through Title II fundings. That's a reduced rate of $18,000. So why not offer that to another couple of kids that need that at the high school?
That answers all my, I just thought it was so good. It was one of those that's too good to believe, and I thought there was a typo or something. That's phenomenal.
Mr. President, I move that we approve item 4D as presented.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor show by the uplifted hand. And any opposed by the same sign.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would like to, if everybody's okay with it, move up item 9. Is that right?
12.
Excuse me. Item 12, thank you. Item 12, the naming of Oak Ridge High School, 9th grade campus, if everybody's okay with that? Sure. All right, we will move that item up, Dr. Knoll, to naming our principal of Oak Ridge High School, 9th grade campus.
Appreciate that. Well, as with the naming of Mr. Allman to be our principal at Oak Ridge High School for next year, it created a vacancy at Oak Ridge 9, and we went into the process with Mr. Allman helped guiding us, looking for someone that could bring strong energy there to the War Eagles and just a positive outlook. And I think that we have found the right person. Ms. Burks brings great experience, having been an assistant principal at both the high school level and the intermediate level within Conroe ISD. At all of her stops, she is known for having just great energy, great positive spirit, but beyond that, just a very in-depth knowledge of our programs, especially behavior programs in Conroe ISD, having served as a district coach in that area, in addition to her assistant principal roles. And so she has all the credentials, and if that wasn't enough to prove that she can do hard things and do hard things well, she came to our district as a cheerleading coach. So you can do that. You can do anything, and as we've seen. So I am very proud tonight to make the recommendation that Ms. Shalonda Burks become the principal of Oak Ridge High School 9th grade campus.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion and we have a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries. Congratulations.
To President Hubert, the Board of Trustees, and Dr. Knoll, thank you for this incredible honor to lead Oak Ridge High School, the 9th grade campus. I am truly grateful for the opportunity. There's an old proverb, and that is my nephew.
He's just excited.
There's an old proverb that says, if we stand tall, it is because we stand on the shoulders of giants who have come before us. I have stood much taller from the love, support, and guidance from many people throughout our amazing district. It's far too many to name right now, but I will just talk about a few. So thank you, Dr. Knoll, for hiring me 10 years ago into the district as a cheer coach. You have taught me to be patient and to stand firm in my convictions. Thank you to Lindsay Ardwan, who showed me how to make schools magical and a place where kids wanted to be. To my original partner in crime, Liz Kaler, thank you for showing me the ropes and giving me some great advice. I'd also like to thank Dr. Upshaw, Dr. Taylor, Dr. Medford, and Dr. Winkler, as well as Kim Earthman and the Student Support Services team, who have all answered my calls and texts and all sorts of things throughout the years. Thank you to my Conroe High School family and the admin team led by Dr. Tasha Smith, my friend and mentor. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for seeing me and allowing me to be myself. Your wisdom, laughs, and guidance have been invaluable to me my entire time at CISD. I stand on the shoulders of my entire family and friends who are here with me tonight. I share a special bond with each of you. Each of you have loved me and encouraged me and reminded me to always keep my faith, values, and morals intact. You have supported me and corrected me through the highs and lows of my life and reminded me of what a sore loser I am at every family game night. I love you. Lastly, I stand on the shoulders of my late mother, Valerie R. Guilford, who, if she were still with us, would be sitting on the front row. She taught me the importance of an education. She taught me to persevere, to leave things better than I found them, to never meet a stranger, to always have a plan, and to be a person of my word. It is through this collection of love, lessons, and support that I will honor the traditions that Mr. Allman and those who have came before him have set at Oak Ridge High School 9th grade campus. To the War Eagle Nation, I cannot wait to meet the staff, the students, and the families to help reignite the spirit that makes the Oak Ridge community so special. Let's go, War Eagles. Thank you.
Congratulations, welcome.
Brother from another mother, because I had the same mom.
I'm so happy to have Mr. Roll.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hip hip hooray, principal.
Thought we were gonna see some spirit fingers or something.
Yeah, right?
I can't tell you were ever a cheer coach.
Yeah.
That's right.
And a good one now.
Yeah, great good one.
That's awesome. Congratulations to you and to the family as well for coming out and supporting. Thanks for coming out here. Appreciate y'all.
And y'all are welcome to go and you're welcome to stay.
Yeah.
But you're welcome to go and celebrate now if you like. This is a moment that you could exit if you would like to.
That's right.
To go
That's right.
properly celebrate the night.
Yep. All right, moving on to item 5A, discuss possible names for Conroe ISD campus and facilities.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hubert. So we know that one of the most difficult jobs that you all face as a board member is the naming of facilities. And the reason that that job is so difficult here is because we have so many wonderful people that are worthy. And as we face every time we name facilities, there are more worthy names than we could possibly have schools to honor them with. So tonight, we're going to have an opportunity to name an elementary school in the Grand Oaks feeder. Then we can name an elementary school in the Caney Creek and Conroe feeder combined. We can also consider naming district facilities. But before we get to those items where there would be a motion and a vote on items, we wanted to start with item A, which is just discussion of possible names. We want to make sure that every board member has an opportunity to have their voice heard prior to any motions being made or anything moving forward. So we have provided you with a list of items of the names that were submitted via our website. Well, once again, I know that you all have received feedback from the community, either through email or just through conversation, that you may have names that you're under your consideration that aren't even on the list, and that's certainly appropriate, and that's your decision to do that as well. So, Mr. Hubert, I don't know if you would just like to give every board member an opportunity to speak and share their feelings about particular names, and then once everybody feels like they've had a chance to share what they need to share, then we could move on to
Yes, sir.
the particular items.
Yeah, I would, and not necessarily any particular order, but I know that we've all been contacted. We have this great list. We had a phenomenal family come talk to us as well and share some names. So I'd like to open up the conversation as well to those who'd like to just discuss some names that they either brought or saw today as well. Yes, sir, Mr. Sanders.
I'll be glad to begin the conversation.
Please.
Thank you. As Dr. Null said, this is probably one of the hardest things to do because there's so many great names out there. But I'd like to recommend Dr. Christopher J. Hines as the Grand Oaks Elementary School. Dr. Hines has announced his retirement, and he has been a great man of this district for many years, worked at many of these schools. And I think that would be an awesome thing to remember Dr. Hines for. The other one is the Candy Creek / Conroe Elementary School. And again, I would like to present Janet K. Bartlett. Her son Cody came tonight and represented her very well. I think that she is an outstanding teacher. And not that we don't have a lot of outstanding teachers, but I think that Conroe legacy means a lot. And then the third one that I have is to possibly name the police facility in honor of our retiring chief, William J. Harness. Chief Harness is a veteran. He is a great man of honor and character. I think he has served this district well. He has brought our police department a long way. He has mentored our new chief of police, Matt Blakelock, very well. And all of the police, we are so honored that y'all do such a great job. And so I think naming that in his honor would be a great thing. Thank you.
Well said, well said.
He took 3 of my suggestions, and
Yeah.
I would throw my support wholeheartedly behind all of those. The one I would add is for the natatorium, the Laura Wilkinson Natatorium. She grew up in this district. She's an Olympic gold medal diver. She still gives her time to the Woodlands Diving Club that uses that facility, that has turned out countless swimmers and divers for our district. She travels the country speaking and mentoring young women, and is a great example of resilience. If you know her Olympic story and coming back after a devastating injury to win a gold medal and fighting through all those hardships, and now dedicating her life to helping improve the lives of other young women, I would put that one on the table, Laura Wilkinson Natatorium.
I will concur with my 2 colleagues on the 3. Chris Hines, Dr. Hines on the Grand Oaks, Ms. Bartlett on the Conroe feeder, as well as Chief Harness on the police station. The Wilkinson, I'm kind of indifferent on. Natatorium.
The natatorium. We're just discussing names at this point. We're not.
Well, I'm not voting, I'm just.
Right, we're not voting. We're just throwing some names out there.
I don't have any addition.
Okay.
I don't have any additional names either.
Okay.
I fully support Dr. Hines on the one, and I'm good with everything else. If I had a gold ticket, I'd pass it out right now.
Do you have any additional names?
I can't, no, I don't think I do.
Teresa.
Just Teresa.
There was one other name. Of course, all of the others are wonderful suggestions and are all honorable candidates for each of the buildings that they have been nominated for. One other suggestion for the Caney Creek Conroe Elementary School would be for Richard Woodruff, a 26-year teacher as well, another teacher who has recently passed away, but he served a very, very long time, also nominated by his daughter and wife, and so he was in the Conroe feeder, and just a very, very special man to that feeder as well. And so, but I think either one of those teachers would represent that school beautifully and honorably. So.
Agreed.
I'd just like to add one more name. I mentioned it last time too, was Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
I mentioned it last time. And
Yeah.
I'd like to mention that.
So, everybody feel like you've had a chance to share?
Well, I'd like to, so, you're right, this is tough, but it's also fun too. It's fun,
Yeah,
it's fun
an
to
honor,
listen to
yeah.
people talk about names and what they mean to them. And I would like to, for not any particular position, any school or any building, but another name to be considered either now or at another time, would be Miss Nelda Blair. As far as education, she graduated from Conroe High. She actually was the mascot. She'll tell you she was a mascot, and she'll tell you that her picture's still in there with the ears and all that stuff. But she's also on the University of Houston Board of Regents, and she served 2 times as the chairwoman of that. She was also on the Board of Regents for Stephen F. Austin. She's also been on the Lone Star College system as a Chancellor's Advisory Council. She's a Baylor grad. We know what she's done in the community for her community service here as well. She heads up and has been the chairman and the president of the Conroe ISD Education Foundation, which has been entrusted to give out over $600,000 to teachers and to students, and is an all-around phenomenal person, and certainly is in our community. I want to also say that she was the original chairman of the board for the township when it was founded, and she was the first woman to serve as a chairman of the board for the Woodlands Township as well. So her impact on this community has been large as well. With all that being said, though, I love the idea of a teacher who's been in our district as long as Miss Bartlett as well, to be honored and to have students learn of her story as well. I think it's inspiring and well-deserved. Dr. Hines is somebody that I've known for probably 10 years now, and have a great respect for Dr. Hines as well, as long as he's been in education and has served this community as a principal, and obviously as one of our sub-supers here as well, and just the impact that he has had. I think being able to be the guy that has helped us through rezoning should get more than just a school, but an entire community named after him as well. And then, I mean, if I could just talk a little bit longer, you know, Chief Harnes as well. I mean, what a fitting recommendation, Mr. Sanders as well, and then Laura Wilkinson as the natatorium. I didn't live in the community when she won, but the first time I met her, I was like, wait a minute, I know you, and she has been an advocate for our community, working with lots of children as well. So I love all of these suggestions.
Okay. So we'll move now into item 5, B, C, and D. And so 5 first will be the Grand Oaks feeder. I'm saying this just to remind you not to you definitely need to handle 5B tonight. 5C is one that, you know, it opens a year later. So if you are comfortable and we get to a point tonight where you name that one, that would be great, but you don't have to. And then on the district facilities, certainly you could name 2, you could name 1, that can be done at any time.
Right?
Yeah, we can always come back to any of those at any time, if you wanted to do that. And we'll have more facilities in the future as well that could be named as well. So
we will go through these each one.
Each one individually. So Ms. Blakelock, if you want to start us off here, just show us the Grand Oaks feeder, Flex 22.
Absolutely. And if you'll recall, this school is slated to open in August of 2023. It's located on Lexington Boulevard and currently projected to serve students in grades K through 4.
We'll see some pictures of it here in a little while.
Yes. Mr. Foster's
Mr.
update.
President, I move that we name the new elementary school in the Grand Oaks feeder zone Dr. Christopher J. Hines Elementary.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? All right. Hearing none, seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the motion show by the uplifted hand. All those against by the same sign. Motion carries.
Good job.
Edith,
Very deserving, Dr. Hines.
Great job, man.
Appreciate your contribution to our community, our school, our kids, everybody. Appreciate you.
All right. Are we ready for the next one? It's a lot of feelings, a lot of happy feelings over here.
Mr. Ready?
All right, so item then 5C, Ms. Blakely.
So this is Flex 23. This is an elementary slated to serve the Caney Creek and Conroe feeders. It will be located in the area of 1484 and Airport Road, and again is projected to serve K4 and opening in August of 2024.
Mr. President? Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Mr. President, I consider we name the new elementary school in the Caney Creek and Conroe feeder zone in honor of Janet K. Bartlett.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
See.
Hearing that, would that be the name, Janet K. Bartlett?
We would confirm with
Yes.
the family, I would say, yes.
I think I
Cody's
got
nodding
a
yes.
nod, yes.
Cody's nodding yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, I'll call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? And any abstentions?
I'm staying.
Very good. The motion passes. Congratulations. That's great. That's great. It's a great story. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Okay, so item 5D, consider naming a district facility. So this one is open-ended. So just leave it open.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I move that we name our Public Safety Center,
Police Command Center.
Police Command Center, excuse me, in honor of our retired Chief of Police, William J. Harness.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on this one? This is exciting. This is our first opportunity to name a building other than a school, and how fitting it is.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, I've called the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries. Congratulations. Here?
Chief probably had a soccer game somewhere with his grandkids.
Say he's probably with his grandkids.
But we'll call him.
Are we doing 5B?
So we're still in 5D. The question would be if you wanted to name any other facilities or if you wanted to hold off on any others, that would be your decision.
Mr. President, I would move that we name the natatorium the Laura Wilkinson Natatorium.
Laura Wilkinson Natatorium. Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor, show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Very good. All right, very nice. Here as well.
Do we have any other, if there are no other discussion on that, I might ask for a 5-minute recess if we can, just so we can celebrate with some of these folks here.
Absolutely. Yeah, 5-minute recess. (7:31). Moving on to item 6, teaching and learning. Item A, consider approval use of TACTE initiative course for alignment with the Conroe ISD Lone Star College Conroe Center drone program.
All right, Dr. Upshaw will present. I'll just want to share with everybody that during our recess, I was able to connect with Chief Harness on the phone, and Mr. Hubert was able to share with him y'all's decision, and so he was really touched as well. So I just wanted y'all to hear that.
Good evening, Mr. Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll. I come to you again with a different item of options to be able to offer to our high school students. So we come to you tonight to offer you the consider approval of an innovative course that is aligned with our Conroe ISD Lone Star partnership. So Conroe ISD partners with Lone Star College, Conroe Center, and we want to be able to offer this innovative course to provide another career path in the area of transportation, distribution, and logistics. So this opportunity is to better serve our students in Conroe ISD, and we're requesting your approval to be able to connect that offering to the innovative courses listed on your board item. So just to give you some information, if you do approve this item, this would begin with your approval. It would begin next year. And so what we did to seek interest is we advertised it in all our high schools in the district, and we had students that were interested. We interviewed them with the CTE staff and college career readiness staff. We have 18 students that are awaiting, that want to be part of this process, and they are from Conroe High School, Grand Oaks High School, Oak Ridge High School, the Woodlands High School, and College Park High School. So this program is very similar to the automotive program, and so it's an 8 to 11:30. Conroe ISD's commitment is our math teacher, our English teacher, and a government teacher, and the partnership with the Lone Star Center is that expertise and that certified staff in the drone program. So with that presented, if you have any discussion, we'd like to seek your approval.
Okay.
Move approval is presented.
I second.
We have a motion and a second, and open up for discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got discussion too. Go ahead.
I just have one question for you that I just need clarification on public record. This is a currently approved TEA innovative course. It is not a pilot program course from a provider that is seeking our endorsement to better their chances of getting SBOE and TEA approval later.
That is correct. It is listed. That other process would have taken about 18 months to a year, but this is courses listed on TEA's website for CTE approval and alignment.
What does the course entail? I'm trying to understand fully here. I can envision, but I need you to articulate it. for me.
Well, I'm not the expert in drones, but I imagine that it would entail, it is a very industry-based need right now, the equipment of being able how to use drones and the design with them. So it would help our kids be able to learn how to operate them, create them, fly them, and how to be able to use that technology
Okay.
in life.
Yeah, I mean, drones are being used all over the place.
Yeah, I'm thinking of two different types, military drones versus the little drones you see, but I think we're talking about just the little, see, I got.
Yeah, the
straight,
gamut,
I understand.
right?
No missiles.
I got you, I got you.
And you said 18 students were in?
18 students are currently awaiting the approval, yes.
Okay.
It's probably because there's only 18 kids that know it's available yet. I would assume this is going to be a very popular product.
Agreed.
Idea.
Dr. Upshaw, do you know, because it's a CTE program, will it come with some sort of certification at the end?
It will.
That they will be able to turn that certification into some sort of work experience or maybe potentially employment out there?
Yes, sir. That's why, when I mentioned that it was similar to our automotive program,
Correct.
so 11 of our students that are in that type similar program in automotive have just received their industry-based certification.
Right.
So this is that career pathway to be able
Okay.
to extend that in this particular field, which is called the transportation, distribution, and logistics strand, because there's all sorts of strands.
Okay, okay. And so I know you can get different levels of certification as well. So this is just kind of level one,
Yes,
I
sir.
would presume, right?
And
Okay,
if it grows, I can imagine, then we can look at that further.
great. Okay, thank you.
These drones, do we pay for them? Do the kids buy their own? Do students? How's that work?
Well, I think we'll figure out those logistics once we approve it, and then we'll figure out the alignment. Right now, it's the curriculum that it's aligned and the crosswalk of our courses, which we mentioned we're giving our Conroe commitments, a government teacher, English teacher, and a math teacher, and then the alignment to the curriculum, and then we'll decide how that moves forward.
So we don't know yet? Is that what you're saying?
I don't have that with me.
Okay.
And typically, if you follow like some of our other CTE courses, a lot of it depends upon if it's an item that they will own when they're done, then they will purchase it. So for example, cosmetology, they buy their kit because it's personally owned, and when they leave, they take it with them. In automotive class, they don't buy the tools because they use them while they're there, but they don't take them home when they're done. So some of it will be that conversation with Lone Star to figure out what will be, school-owned and what will be student-owned when it's at the conclusion of the course.
And if you'd like, we can follow up with that information and send it to you.
Well, I think in some scenarios in our CTE, we have industry partners as well that
Absolutely.
provide a lot of this equipment
Yes.
for us. I don't know if that's what this will be, but we do have a lot of that as well. So it's either at no cost or low cost to the district and to the students as well with some of these partnerships. So, okay, any other questions? All right, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the motion show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? And any abstentions? Abstention, all right. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 7A, planning and construction. Item A, consider granting an access easement to DML Conroe Plaza LP and delegating authority to the superintendent to execute a necessary document.
All right, Mr. Foster.
Good evening, President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Null. It's my pleasure to bring forward for your consideration and approval an access easement to DML Conroe Plaza, which is a private developer who has a development underway very near Irons Junior High School. They're requesting an access easement that allow them to access to our westernmost driveway, and it'll give them a secondary access directly to State Highway 242 from their development. In return for granting this easement, they're going to compensate the district. We've been charging for easements at this location $3 per square foot. It's a 12,484 square foot easement for a total of $37,452. So at this time, we're requesting your approval.
Okay. So move. We have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion a second. Any questions or?
I have a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Anders.
So right now, are the buses primarily the only ones using that access?
During the school day, yes. I mean, if you were to turn in that driveway off of 242, you would head right into the concession stand for the
Right.
football field.
Right.
So athletic events, other venues, after hours would
Right.
be the primary users for that driveway. Buses during school day, and then
Okay.
after hours events beyond that.
And so it's the intent of the developer to use this as an alternate exit out of their subdivision?
Well, it's a commercial, so like an entity, I think Chick-fil-A is their anchor tenant currently. And it's a very similar arrangement to what you see in front of College Park on the other side of 45 on State 242. So but it is a secondary access. They have their primary access from 242. This would be the second way out of their parking lot.
I don't have a problem with it. I just want to make sure that it's not going to impede our
Yeah.
traffic ability
Right.
during peak times of school hours.
Correct, and I had that conversation with the developer. We don't have any time restrictions in the easement.
I know.
But, I mean,
I
we
read
don't,
through it,
we've
yeah.
deemed it doesn't appear to have any impact on our operations.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So do we have any recourse if it does become a problem?
Yeah.
We could
Because-
always gate the driveway and manage it if we need to, but, I mean, this would be a perpetual easement. We would have an open line of communication with the developer, but it is intended to run with the land. So, I mean, our recourse that we've written into the document is really about maintenance and other items, so if they break it, they help fix it. But beyond, like shutting off their access, once we grant it, it will be granted as a perpetual easement.
Right, because, I mean, I love Chick-fil-A, but I know how long that line can get.
Yeah.
And, you know, as 242 grows and that campus out there grows, I would be concerned that parents picking up and dropping off, that could, you know, become a problem.
I mean, it's one of those that could absolutely be a problem, and it could be a problem even if the driveway access didn't exist. Parents pulling in, dropping their kids off, having their kids walk through the bus traffic, which is something we always try to avoid. But it's something that, I mean, we deal with a very similar issue in front of College Park. I mean, so it's not something we're unfamiliar with from an operational standpoint.
Right.
So it's something we feel like is definitely manageable.
Is it the exact same developer? as the one at
It's
College
not the
Park?
same developer,
Okay,
it
I
just
didn't think
happens
so.
to be Chick-fil-A. so.
Gotcha, okay.
And that exit is, and I know configurations could change at any moment, but currently that's the bus side. The parent drop-off side is the other entrance at the light,
East side.
correct?
Yes.
And it's,
Right.
Yeah,
they're
and,
completely
that's
separate.
Needham
right?
Road, so-
Right,
That's what I thought. We had the east sides for the parents and the west sides the buses.
correct.
Yes, ma'am.
I just really don't want it to impede the bus.
No.
Right,
traffic.
yeah, right.
We're on a schedule.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if they were to run their drive-through line onto that driveway, that is something I feel like we could address with them directly.
Okay.
Impacting our operations is something we mentioned in the easement document, so we should be able to
Okay. As
direct
long
them
as
not to.
we're protected with that.
Correct.
Okay.
It's good question. I was thinking the same thing as to, but you just addressed it, so I'm Okay. All right, any other questions or thoughts? All right, seeing none, call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Very good, motion carries. Mr. Foster, moving on to item B, consider authorizing payment to the Texas Department of Transportation for relocation of the sewer line near Moorhead Junior High School.
At this time, I'd request your approval for payment for work that was performed by Texas Department of Transportation, that is TxDOT. So over the past couple of years, they've been working out at FM 2090 near the current Moorhead Junior High School, expanding that roadway and the bridges that cross Caney Creek. In their expansion, about a year ago, in their expansion of the bridge that crosses Caney Creek, they did encounter a sanitary sewer line of ours in their right-of-way that was installed by Conroe ISD in about 1995. So in 1995, we can't find any documentation that it was properly recorded in the public right-of-way. So we, in that meeting on the side of the road with TxDOT agreed to use their contracting system to assure value for the work, perform the work, move the line, and then we would reimburse them for those expenses. So we've been around the block with them a few times. The expenses are outlined here. The total price is $61,140.76, and at this time we're requesting your approval for payment.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So made.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any questions, conversation?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Any kind of recourse from any contractor that put it in there right away?
Well, this is
I know it
long
was a
and
long time
far
ago.
away from
Right.
from any statute for it. 10 years is typically where
Okay.
construction ends,
All
but
right.
this would clearly fall upon the owner, not the contractor.
I
so
understand.
As
I
a
just-
responsibility.
I just wanted to
But
ask.
we have taken some action
Right, put it out
currently
there.
to record this appropriately in the right of way so that we avoid this in the future.
So had it been properly recorded and they hit it, they would have had to repair it?
Correct. I
replace it?
mean, and we have a very, very similar arrangement going with another developer on FM 1314 with the Artavia development,
Uh-huh.
where it was recorded correctly. They did encounter it and plan to move it during the course of their operations.
Gotcha.
And they've been working with our Director of Maintenance, Marshall Schrader, to coordinate the shutdowns to move that one as they encounter it. I mean, so when it's done appropriately, it is a
So it's
very
really
easy
just a
process.
matter that somehow it never got recorded.
Correct. And,
Got it.
and that area of the district at that time.
That may or may not have been a contractor issue.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Are we in the need to audit any others or check any other lines out? I mean, is this any kind of red flag with the developer or anything like that, or is it just a one-off?
No, at this time, it's a one-off. I mean, and these lines are specific to where we have wastewater treatment plants, which we don't have very many of.
Okay.
The newest one is opening with Gordon Reed Elementary, and that one is recorded properly. This one is the Caney Creek High School treatment plant. And it serves all those campuses, so it's one collector discharge point.
Okay.
And then the other ones that we've encountered, Austin Elementary is another one. It is recorded correctly. San Jacinto is the one that discharges 1314 that I mentioned. It is recorded correctly, so we should be in good shape.
Okay. Okay. All right, seeing no other questions, I'll call a vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Very good, motion carried. Mr. Foster, item C, receive capital improvement updates.
At this time, I'm excited to bring you our updates for capital improvements, as June is a very busy month for us now that the students are in their summer break. I'm going to start you with our safety and security project for 2022. I mean, like this is things you can't see. I mean, it's door access and it's secure vestibules and impact-resistant films on glass and things of that nature. It is progressing well now that the students are away for their summer break. We are making hay when we can make hay and the sun is shining, and we're doing very well over the summer. So we're scheduled to be on this project through the end of the calendar year, and at which time we'll bring you the 2023 installment of this district-wide effort. So I'm happy to say it is on schedule and moving along very well.
Mr. Foster, can I
Yes.
just ask a question regarding the safety and security? So this will provide secure vestibules, as I'm understanding correctly?
Well, I
in
mean,
these-
just so we're clear, all of our campuses currently have secure vestibules.
That's where I was headed,
So this is a
So
back through.
it's actually kind of remodeling the secure vestibules
Correct.
that we already have?
That is absolutely
All right,
the
thank
case,
you. That's
yes.
what, I just wanted to make that clear so that the public understood that we already have secure vestibules for all of our campuses.
That is correct.
All right.
The main upgrade, we're going back to some of our older ones and adding the impact-resistant film to
Film,
the
right,
glass. So
right.
that there's another layer of protection to allow our staff to retreat if there ever was an event.
All right, thank you.
So I'm moving on to campus renovations, 2022. Our largest scope of work is at Gladys Elementary, where we're replacing the building systems. Essentially, if you walked in the building on just after Memorial Day, it looked like a war zone. We took the ceiling out and effectively everything above the ceiling out with it. So this is actually a picture of the systems going back in. So you're looking at ductwork going back in its new configurations. If you were out there today, you'd see ceiling grid. So it is going back together very well. It is on schedule as it has been planned throughout the summer, and we should be returning to school in August with no foreseeable issues at this campus. At Creighton Elementary, this is our long-term overhaul, where this summer we're working on the kitchen expansion to better serve the student population there. As soon as the students got out for their summer break, we knocked down some walls. You can see the outside from the inside in this picture. But what you're looking at is also new building slab area for that kitchen, new equipment going in. Over the next few weeks, they'll be putting the wall back together, closing it up. Everything is on site for that project to wrap up before students return in August on schedule. So we're happy to report that when we return from the summer break, it'll be serving kids a hot lunch, just as we had anticipated. Now at our new Moorhead Junior High School, this is a project that is on schedule. It's scheduled to open in August of 2023. Largely the building envelope is essentially dried in at this point. They're working on systems on the inside. You can see the athletic fields, the tennis courts, and the other venues on the outside of the building coming together. Like I said, the project is on schedule and scheduled to open for students in August of 2023. At Conroe High School, this is a major overhaul of the Conroe High School campus. The story of Conroe High School this summer, just like it was last summer, is concrete. Last summer it was rain that was our nemesis. This summer it's the shortage of Portland cement in the marketplace. So we have a contractor diligently working, trying to find innovative ways to make sure we return the former Wilson Road location in the Homeside parking lot, which is where basically our faculty, staff, and drop-off loop are for next school year, back to a drivable condition. You can see that it's dirt in this picture here. They are working, though we have multiple concrete suppliers. One couldn't make the allocations work, so they're after 2 and 3 to make sure we get concrete delivered on time and get that parking lot back together. So we will bring you more updates. This is one that we are concerned and watching over, but is one our contractor is committed to making sure we have school in this location next year. The rest of the project is moving along fine. You can see the building structures going in. The long span beams for the new gymnasiums are on site and they're ready to be hung. So we'll put the roof decks and start building the building envelopes around the athletic venues very soon. The CTE in the upper part of the picture, which you really can't see here, is progressing well. So the project is on schedule, and we'll turn that we'll be on that school site through the year 2025. At Flex 21, Gordon Reed Elementary. So this one is substantially complete. So the district owns this facility. This is the last time we'll have to talk about it at a board meeting, but it will open for students in August. The principal is living there currently. Furniture is delivering over the next several weeks, and then it'll be open for school in August.
I have a question about
Yes, sir.
the sign out front. I'm sorry to be
No problem.
nitpicky, but I've had several people call me and say they cannot read the sign.
So interestingly enough, the sign that's on McCaleb Road
Yes.
is a sign built for 2 schools. So if we made the letters bigger for one school, we'd have to build something different for the second school when we come back to build that site later. When you turn into the boulevard entry, which is on the left side of our screen, you'll actually see the marquee sign for Gordon Reed Elementary.
Right.
And then as we develop this site into the future, there'll be another school name on McCaleb Road, and then another set of marquee signs as we build that new structure.
So it's not going to change?
Not
It
without-
can.
It
Well,
can.
That's the question I've gotten. And people, I literally drove down there one night myself to see it. And until I got literally on the road going into the cube parking or drop off,
Yeah.
I couldn't really read it.
Well, we can look at it because it may be that we can pull these smaller letters off and just hold them until we build the second school and then put them
Yeah,
back on
that's
there.
what I
Or
wonder,
maybe a color, just changing the color of.
That might help too. It
something.
just,
Wait, let's look
it's-
at it.
It's,
Absolutely, we
it's
can
just,
explore options.
I mean, Conroe ISD looked bigger than the school name, and I just,
It's a similar setup to what we have like at Grangerland and Milam.
Is
and-
it? Okay.
And Patterson Bosman, but
It's a different
the
color.
school, it's just that the school marquees are more prominent to the road as well.
Sure.
The main road, and so that,
Are they the same size, same scope, same scale?
I would be lying to you if I said yes, I don't
Don't lie
know
to
for
me,
sure,
don't lie to
but we can absolutely compare them
Yeah.
in this particular location. The good news is the designer and the team to handle this are sitting behind me in those chairs. back
okay.
there, so
I'm not
they're taking
criticizing,
notes.
please understand.
up the
I'm
bus.
just telling you, I got several phone calls enough that I went and drove it
Certainly.
myself to see. In fact, the security guard was trying to run me off. So
Doing
he
his
was doing
job.
his job as well,
Absolutely.
which was a good thing.
You look
Yeah.
suspicious.
I am suspicious, yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Problem. So this is a picture what the, when you enter the front door for the first day of school, the students will be looking at this as they enter the commons area. So at Oak Ridge High School, this overhauled our South County CTE complex. So this is a long-term project too. We'll be on this site through August of 2023. We're working feverishly on the inside of this building now, start doing the big overhaul, things that we can start and finish this summer. We'll do that again next summer to wrap up the project. But you'll see the building structure and kind of in the center of the picture is the new admin, which is the new front door of this building. And the dirt off to the left is the footprint for our new CTE portion of the building. And you'll see it blends up well to the existing building is the new central plant, which is where the equipment that powers all the new overhauled air conditioning systems is in place and ready to, and being hooked up the current summer. The road around the campus is we're watching when the best time is to start that actual work. But we have drawings, we have designs, we're working through everything. We're making our last municipal approvals on it now, and then trying to eye the marketplace and make sure we're spending our money appropriately as we build that campus and take that road around it. But everything is still on schedule, and we'll finish that project in August of '23.
When will we close that road?
When the
Not
new
until the
road is
new road
open,
is
then
completed?
Okay. Right, so our intention is to open the new road. There's a bonding process and maintenance agreement with the county.
Sure.
And then we'll do a right-of-way swap with them, gain ours back, give them what we built
Gotcha.
in return.
Okay.
At Conroe High School is our 9th grade classroom edition. Just like Gordon Reed, this project is substantially complete. We own it as the district. We'll move into it this summer, and then the students will be using it for their school in August when they return from the summer break. Flex School number 22, the newly named Christopher J. Hines Elementary School, Dr. Christopher J. Hines Elementary School, is currently on schedule. It's scheduled to open in August of 2023 as well. You can see here, concrete is again the story of this particular project. It is underway very well. We're still dealing with the concrete allocations. However, with the length of time on the project, we should be in good shape overall. Steel arrived on the site, so if you drove out there today, it is vertical, so the building is going up. And that project, like I said, is on schedule and working through the procurement issues of concrete, but it appears to be in good shape. Our new maintenance, custodial, and child nutrition facility is on FM 2854, right outside town here. It is moving along well. Again, concrete is the story of the day there. They're doing the building foundations, which you see the little dots are the spread foundations for the main buildings that are underway currently. Steel is arriving as we speak, so that project, as soon as they get concrete on the ground, will go vertical. That project is on schedule and will be there through the summer of 2023 when we open that facility for use. At Caney Creek High School, this is our 6A upgrades at Caney Creek High School, where we've been working on the athletics portion of the building for a little while. As soon as school got out, we started working on the new front door area. You can see the demolition has taken place. They're working on the building foundations, ordering steel, ordering glass, all the things to make that front door come together. It won't finish exactly with the start of school. It'll finish just into school a little bit, but we've been working with the campus to create a secure area for them to have their summer registrations and all the other things that happen. And when the students start in August, they'll have a clean entry and exit to the building while we wrap this up. But when we're done with this portion, this milestone will have a new, very well-defined front entrance for Caney Creek High School. the overall project is on schedule. We'll be on this project through the summer of '23. This is one of those intermediate milestones I've talked about over the last couple of months. And as we work our way through the campus, it is currently overall on schedule. Collins Intermediate is one we approved a few months ago. We started it in earnest once the students left for their summer break. What you're seeing here is the building pad for the new gym addition for that campus. That project is underway. It looks like we're going to turn the gym over for use in the spring semester. And then we're going to stay on that campus and do some life cycle improvements while we're there as part of this contract. So we'll be on this site through the summer of 2023, but we hope to turn over the gym in the spring semester like we did at Wilkerson and then before that at Runyon. But that is our update.
Nice.
Thank you, Mr. Foster.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Foster. That's all. All right. Moving on to item 8A, consider award of RFP 22-04-03 towing services.
Mr. Reeves.
Mr. Rick Reeves.
How are y'all? Good evening, President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll. Tonight, we're requesting that the board considers awarding RFP 22-04-03 towing services to the following vendors for an estimated annual expenditure of approximately $75,000. Those vendors are Speedy's Auto Service, Milstead Automotive, and Miller Towing and Recovery. The requests for proposals pertaining to the purchase of towing services for the district were emailed to vendors through the electronic e-bidding system, also advertised 2 times in the Courier and the CISD purchasing website. Line item and discount prices will be effective for 1 year from time of award, automatically renewing annually for 2 additional 1-year terms through June 30th, 2025. We had 3 vendors submit a bid response. The proposals were evaluated by the Transportation and Maintenance Departments and reviewed by the Purchasing Department. Funds are provided in the CISD General Fund. Best value offers are recommended for board award, and at this time, we request your approval.
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor of the motion, show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Foster. Moving on to the item B, consider approval of RFP 220301, trash collection and recycling.
Mr. Reeves.
Once again, we're requesting that the board considers awarding RFP 22-03-01, trash collection and recycling, which was a reverse auction, to Waste Connections of Texas for an estimated annual expenditure of $900,000. The request for proposals pertaining to the purchase of trash collection and recycling services for the district were emailed to registered vendors through the CISD e-bidding system, also advertised 2 times in the Courier and also on the CISD purchasing website. The Purchasing Department partnered with eBridge, who's a reverse auction bidding platform provider, to secure pricing for the procurement of trash collection and recycling services. Reverse auction is a secure web-based electronic sealed bidding process in which qualified suppliers competitively bid for defined products or services over a period of time. This was accomplished at no cost to the district. Vendors were asked to provide firm prices through June 30th, 2025 for trash collection and recycling services. The period of the contract shall be July 1st of this year through June 30th, 2025, with an option to renew for 2 additional 1-year terms upon mutual agreement. Proposals were evaluated by members of the custodial department and reviewed by the purchasing department. Best values offers are recommended for board award. Funds for these purchases are provided in the general fund, and at this time, we request your approval.
All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions?
Yeah, just
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question. What was the increase year over year from our previous contract? Do you know that offhand?
It was about 70%.
Significant, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this contract will be through 2025?
Correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? And any abstentions? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Reeves. And while you're up there, we'll do item 8C, ratification of selection of job order contracting as a procurement method for the 2022 Emergency Moorhead Water Well Replacement Project and the selection of Jers General Contractors, Inc. as a vendor to provide the materials and services of the project.
Well, Mr. Reeves is going to tap out and hand
Yeah,
it
I
off
see
to
that.
Mr. McCord to present this item.
Yeah, I put my head down to read and I look up and he's gone.
He's gone. He just took off.
So President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll. I'm here this evening regarding the primary water well serving the Caney Creek area feeders, including a number of campuses, including Milam Elementary, Grangerland Intermediate, Moorhead Junior High, Caney Creek High School, and also the East County Transportation Facility. In May, the primary water well, which serves these facilities, died, and it failed on us. It serves approximately 5,000 students a day and also 500 staff members every day. This well created an emergency that brings me before you here this evening. As you know, there is no municipal water service in this area. We relied on this well. The primary sole source of water for our facilities and children and staff in the area is this well. Fortunately, CISD has a backup well. Unfortunately, the backup well is 27 years old and has significantly degraded in its ability to supply water over that time. Replacement of the backup well will likely be a part of the next district bond referendum. Replacing a failed well, in the best of circumstances, when supplies are ample and workforce is readily available, can take around 4 months from inception to design until water is approved by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for drinking. So in these current times, the uncertainty propelled us to a situation where we dealt with the fact that we were dealing with a real emergency on our hands. So Board Policy CH sets out the process for contracting in these types of emergency situations. The policy grants the superintendent the authority to contract for the replacement, construction, or repair of equipment or facilities if the cost is not more than $100,000. The delegation does not waive competitive purchasing requirements that are a part of this. Because of the emergency well replacement project exceeds the superintendent's contracting authority, the district seeks ratification of the cost, procurement method, and vendor selection for this project. Competitive purchasing requirements were met utilizing the district's job order contracting program, JOC. Through the JOC program, the district was able to swiftly engage the necessary vendors and engineers to replace the main well, which is scheduled for completion just prior to the start of the 2022-2023 school year this August. Additionally, through the JOC program, the district was able to obtain both the necessary materials for the project through JOC vendors, as well as utilizing Joris General Contractors as the lead for the well project. Joris General Contractors is an approved JOC vendor, as well as the general contractor previously selected by the board to build a new Moorhead Junior High and is already on site. To bring home how serious the situation is, this past weekend, we had a convergence of circumstances that makes this situation even more potentially dire. During upgrades to the front entrance of Caney Creek High School, which we saw pictures of just momentarily ago, the output capacity for the backup well was further diminished due to a broken irrigation line and nicking of an electrical wire. As a result, the water in our storage tanks needs to be fully replenished by the backup well, which we will anticipate be done by the end of this week, at the latest on Monday of next week. So therefore, all the district's facilities in that area of the campuses and facilities which I mentioned are on 24-hour fire watch and by order of the fire marshal, and that is being done as we speak, as I speak. So this means staff must be on these sites of all these facilities until fire trucks can access water from our tank in the event of a fire. Additionally, summer school had to be moved from Milam to Grangerland to Hope Elementary, which impacted about 700 students, of which that second session for the summer school starts, in fact, tomorrow morning. It's worth noting Hope Elementary is on a mud and does have city water, so we are good there. So what I'm here tonight for is to request the board ratify the district's decision to utilize the job order contracting procurement method in the amount of $485,000 to procure the materials and general contractor for the water well emergency replacement project in the Caney Creek area.
So move.
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. Who wants to start? Questions?
You said it was $485,000 for the materials?
That's for the whole project.
Oh, the whole labor and
Including
everything?
Gordon
Okay, I
and
thought you said materials.
Yes, sir. Everything.
In like a non-emergency kind of situation, would it be a comparable price tag or?
It would be That'd be debatable. It would probably be about the same. Might have even included it within the project for the construction of Moorhead, the new Moorhead Junior High, or it could go through the entire process. It would still take many months long to get it done. Ideally, we'd be able to plan for the failure of this well. This well dates back to the year 1994 when it was originally created. And what actually happens is all wells will fail. And at this one, it failed at a depth of 260 feet with the casing, and it has dramatically dropped off in its ability to pump water.
And if I heard you correctly, this Jarvis general contractor, you said they're already on site?
Joris is already, they are building our new Moorhead Junior Hospital on site right now. They are there.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
sounds like a no-brainer.
They're there right now.
Mr. McCord, my question, think of it again. Funding, where's the funding for the?
The general fund, sir.
General fund?
General
Okay.
fund, yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just say, we prefer to use the CMAR for this, but we put the JOC agreements in place, I don't know, 24 months ago, something like that, for just such a time as this. So I'd just say kudos to operations and planning and construction for bringing that to us back then to get this procedure in place, so we didn't have to come up with a months longer CMAR process.
Correct, yes, sir. That's
Yeah,
exactly
we
what
would
it's
still
designed.
be early in the procurement process if we were having to use CMAR, so absolutely, it's good to have that.
So kudos to operations and planning and construction on that foresight.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, are we gonna have a new well? Are we gonna have are they drilling a
Casing?
new hole? I know the case, this is gonna be a whole new well
sir.
and everything.
Correct, yes, sir.
So will we have to cap the old one? And,
It will have to be capped. This new well will actually have an 8-inch diameter, and what it will do is if this well was to go bad many years in the future, we'll be able to put a 6-inch sleeve into this well and not have to start from scratch. And be proactive and be ready in case, because all wells are going to fail. So we're trying to be proactive and put an 8-inch diameter shaft instead of the 6.
So what is the life of a well?
Anywhere between 30 to 35 years. It really depends. Sometimes sand comes in, sometimes the casing fails, sometimes water does crazy things. Marshall, you care to elaborate on anything else that can go wrong with a well?
In a good case, they're used, especially as hard as that well pumps, and we're serving a state volume. But right now, we're flying without a safety net.
And we're adding kids every day to that area. It's growing rapidly.
For sure.
In our emergency application, to drill the well, do holes in the ground, and then we've also filed our paperwork with Lone Star Groundwater as well.
And you anticipate approval, obviously?
It's already been approved.
Oh, it's already been approved. Okay, I heard you say you filed it. I didn't hear that it was approved.
In anticipation of getting ready to roll as soon as we can.
Perfect, yeah. Okay, thank you.
okay. Call the vote. All those in favor, show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Good, motion carries.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. Moving on to item 9, which is our business and finance. A, receive financial reports. Ms. Garza, how are you?
Good evening, President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Null. It is my pleasure this evening to present the financial statements as of May 31st. First statement is our balance sheet. The balance sheet shows the district's assets, liabilities, and fund balance. Presented here is the general fund, the debt service fund, child nutrition, and self-funded insurance. Taking a closer look at our cash and investments in the general fund, bank deposits at $3.3 million, investments in the state pools at $166.9 million, our investments with Wood Forest National Bank $39.4 million, our shorter-term investments with U.S. Bank $29.8 million, and then our longer-term ladder with TCG at $53.4 million, for total cash and investments in the general fund of $292.9 million. This is our income statement. The income statement shows the district's revenues and expenditures. Total revenue in the general fund year-to-date, $504.4 million. Total expenditures of $374.5 million. It's our 2019 bond referendum update. Total funds encumbered and expended to date is $410.7 million. We are working on the remaining sale of the $165 million scheduled for closing in early July. Mr. Rice will be bringing results of that sale at the July budget presentation. So estimated to complete $239.1 million. Our self-funded insurance update for the month of May, we ran at a deficit of just over $780,000. For the year, we are at a deficit of $2.79 million. Year-to-date revenue of $40.4 million. Year-to-date expenditures of $43.2 million. We are ramping up for our busiest season for the plan. The summer months tend to be our high use time for the plan, so we will continue to monitor this. We do have, additional rebates that will be coming in for pharmacy and stop loss that will help this somewhat, but we are anticipating high claims for the months of June, July, and August as it has trended in past years. Participation at the wellness centers is averaging 350. Our investments as of May 31st, total par value is $656.6 million. The pools are at 81 basis points. Wood Forest National Bank at 1 basis point. I'm sorry, 1%. It's hard to say that. We haven't been there in so long. Short-term investments of 69 basis points. TCG, our longer-term ladder, is at 80 basis points. And then our combined portfolio is at 82. And for the first time since before the pandemic, the 90-day T-bill is over 1%. We're at 1.05%.
Okay. Ms. Garza, would you mind going back to to the revenue slide?
Sure.
Real quick. Just want to look at the revenues. The federal program revenues are 8.5.
Yes, sir. That is our SHARS program, our School Health and Related Services program through special education.
Okay. That's what I needed to know. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. The board will go into closed session. Actually, I'll probably read. We are on item 10, executive session. The board will go into closed session pursuant to section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.076, and 551.089 of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any action, vote, or decision on the board with regard to any matter discussed in closed session will be made when the board returns to open session. The time is 8:15. Okay. The board is now in open session at 9:15. Our next item agenda is item 13A, receive information regarding local policy EF, instructional resources, EFA, and the rest of that line item.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, thank you, Mr. Hubert. Based on discussion last month, we have made some adjustments to a proposed policy based on your input and feedback and the discussion. Those items have been shared with you, the draft policy, and we accepted feedback from you over the last few weeks and made some adjustments, and I'll let Ms. Gladys speak a little closer to that and the process that we'll have moving forward on that. But I wanted to share that part of our discussion last month was not really policy related, but more procedurally related on our vendor that we work with for our library management system. And we were confident last month that we would be able to make some headway with them because it's a large company and we felt like the software could be more advanced than what we were presently getting. And so our team has had great conversations with them, and we do feel like that our library management system is going to allow us to do exactly what we discussed that we hoped it would be able to do, meaning give parents real-time access to what types of books or what books their children are checking out. Also allowing us to go in and do restrictions on certain books and parents being allowed to say, I don't want my child having access to a certain type or genre of book, or if we had books labeled as mature or whatever, a parent could say we don't want that. So the program is robust and we're working through that, but we feel like it's going to be a positive. Going to give parents a lot more access to know exactly what their children are checking out. So that's procedural side, not necessarily policy side, but I just wanted to give you that update as well. Ms. Gladys, would you like to talk about the policies?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Currently we have one policy, EF, that addresses both instructional materials and library materials in the same policy. After our discussion last month, you all indicated that you kind of like separate policies to address each of those. And so we've drafted based on your input EFA, which would be the instructional materials policy, and EFB, which will address the library materials. And they contain a lot of similar components. The review process, the informal and the formal review process is the same if anyone wants to challenge instructional materials which are in the classroom or the library materials in the library. The objectives are slightly different, but really at the end of the day, all those things are intended to help students learn, right, and to supplement the curriculum. The selection criteria is also different because obviously instructional materials are more focused on the curriculum, enriching the curriculum, and that's what those objectives focus on. While the library material selection objectives are from TSLAC, the Texas Library Commission's standards. There's verbatim. I think they have 15 of those. We also address inappropriate materials in both of them that are identical. And then the library materials policy addresses parent involvement, encourages that they participate, as Dr. Null said, in how their children select books if they want to. And so I think that they've captured both, all the things that you were hoping for. And so it's just like with your standard process, that they're coming to you as information this month, and then we'll ask for adoption next month so that they can be in place, and we can work on the forms and procedures that would correspond with these new policies prior to the start of the school year.
Very good. Any questions?
I just have one. I just want, for clarity, and I believe you've answered this, but I want to make sure. So EFA relates to instructional materials, which could include videos or anything else that the classroom teacher may have on
Supplemental.
their shelves in their classroom.
Correct.
That's instructional materials. And then EFB relates specifically to the libraries.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Accurate.
I think I read in there also supplemental materials. Is that correct as well?
Well, both of them would have supplemental materials, like maybe library materials could include videos too.
Fall into this. Well, I was hearing there were some differences between like actual educational materials and there's supplemental materials that could be brought in that weren't under scrutiny. We're just making sure everything, basically I want to make sure everything we're doing is under scrutiny. Everything that CISD has, any teacher brings a form in, a piece of paper, it can be looked at by somebody.
For educational,
Well, the
you're talking about in the
supplemental.
classroom.
Yeah, in the classroom.
Yeah.
That would be considered instructional.
Yeah,
material.
instructional.
That would be an
Absolutely.
instructional material.
That's
Well, that's what I want to
we
make sure.
are-
Someone was telling me there's a difference in the language between instructional and supplemental. Supplemental had a little bit different nuance. And that's just, if you say it doesn't,
Yeah,
I was just looking for clarity on it.
No, I think
So
everything
all
that Mr.
material.
Sanders just described would be considered supplemental materials, and they would all fall under that
But they're
instructional.
still instructional.
Yes,
Which would be EFA.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, very good. Thank you for that update. We'll move on to item B, receive information regarding local policy manual update 119 and revisions to board policy DFBB.
Our favorite policy.
Oh.
I know you guys finished reading, all 500 pages of update.
Right before I got here.
But lucky for you, most of those are legal policies, so even if you wanted to change them, you couldn't. There's only 9 local policies are in this updater we've kind of tagged on, which is DFBB, and I want to talk about 2 of them a little bit more in more detail. One is DFBB, our add-on, and those of you who, again, I know everyone would have been here if they could have, but those of you who attended our hearing earlier this month that utilize board policy DFBB, we've made a few perfecting that policy in case we find ourselves in that situation again. In that policy, that's the non-renewal of term contracts policy, and it lists the 34 reasons that our board says is grounds to non-renew a teacher's contract. And we've tweaked the language in 3 of them. In number 7, we've made it clear that a pattern of absences or tardies, not just excessive absences. You may be a distinction without a difference to some people, but it could make a difference in some scenarios. Number 17, we've added in that ground could be a failure to complete a growth plan as a reason to non-renew a teacher's contract. And then 27, we kind of clarified a little bit more that if they provide inaccurate information or false documentation, even in the employment process, that would be grounds for non-renewal as well. So we wanted to add that one in and have it in place for the start of the school year. And then the other one, I just want to prepare you for something that you'll get next month. That's DMA local, and DMA local is our staff development policy. It's new from the last legislative session. They passed, it was a good bill. It cleaned up a whole bunch of staff development issues that had kind of grown out of control over time, but one small component of it was that the legislature directed the State Board of Educators certification to create a clearinghouse of professional development. They had to do that by June 1st of this year. And so they did, and it contained, I believe, 7 trainings on things like active shooters or suicide prevention, things like that, which we provide train on already. But the law also required that our board has to adopt our professional development plan, considering the clearinghouse plan from the State Board of Education, adopt a policy, and that's what this is, and so it'll be in place, and we all have to do that by August 1st, which is a little tight schedule. So you're seeing this policy, which will meet the requirements of the statute. Next month, we'll bring you'll be asked to adopt this along with 119, along with the professional development plan. And part of that law also requires that you look at SFEC's clearinghouse plan too, so that'll be part of the backup for that item. But we provide above and beyond SFEC's recommendation, and I don't know if it'll be Mr. Barton or present that item or not, but he'll explain a little more. So other than that, there's the other policies are minor for the most part and are in that information, and we'll ask for adoption next month.
All right, very good. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Ms. Gladys. Appreciate that update. Moving on to item C, complete annual evaluation of the superintendent and consider revision to the superintendent's contract.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I move that the board approve the superintendent's amended contract as follows. Approve an additional year through January 1, 2027. I'm sorry, June 1, 2027. Approve a 3% raise to base salary. Approve an additional 5-year vacation days per year. Approve a $800 increase in monthly expense allowance to $2,300 per month. Approve a yearly supplemental retirement contribution of $27,000 with a vesting schedule as set forth in the contract. Did I get that right, Alan? All right.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any conversation? All right, seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Very good. Motion passes.
All right.
Have a motion to adjourn?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second.
Mr.
And we
President.
are adjourned.